What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 8th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code Awesemo when you sign up and make your first deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on that first deposit. We have a 10-game MLB slate tonight. As usual, we're going to take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers using the Boom Bust tool and the top stacks tool on the Awesemo.com website. Starting with the top three stacks, number three, the Oakland Athletics are taking on Ian Anderson tonight in Atlanta. They have a 4-run implied total. Oakland is one of the worst offenses in baseball with an 82 WRC plus and a 121 ISO so far this season. But Anderson has struggled so far. He's a promising young pitcher, but so far this season, only a 19.5% strikeout percentage, a double-digit walk percentage, 1.34 home runs per 9 innings, and a 4.27 xFIP. So he hasn't been nearly as good as we'd seen him in the past. Oakland is also really inexpensive on DraftKings. They are projected for 5% ownership with a 4% chance of being the top scoring stack, but a 17% chance of being the top value stack. Number two, the San Francisco Giants taking on Antonio Senzatella in San Francisco. Senzatella has only struck out 8.5% of hitters this year. He has a 4.59 xFIP. The Giants as a team have a 114 WRC plus and a 170 ISO on their active roster. They're projected for 6% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 4% chance of being the top value stack. And number one, the New York Yankees taking on Chris Archer. They have a 5.6 implied run total. They're projected for 7% ownership with a 12% chance of being the top stack and a 3% chance of being the top value stack. Archer has only struck out 18.5% of hitters this year. He has an elevated 4.89 xFIP. He's allowed 1.37 home runs per 9 innings. The Yankees have been the second most productive offense in baseball with a 121 WRC plus. They also have one of the highest ISOs in the league at 185. This is a very good spot to get to the Yankees. Now, looking at the top three tournament pitchers, number three, Chris Bassett is $8,200, taking on the San Diego Padres in San Diego. He has a 3.9 implied run total. He's projected for 10% ownership, has a 13% chance of being a top two scoring pitcher, and a 12% chance of being a top two value pitcher. Bassett has struck out 25% of hitters this year with a 3.79 xFIP. The Padres' active roster has a 100 WRC plus and a 21.8% strikeout percentage. Number two, Alex Wood, $8,600 price tag, taking on the Colorado Rockies in San Francisco. Colorado has a 4-run implied total. Wood is projected for 8% ownership with a 14% chance of being a top two scoring pitcher and a 10% chance of being a top two value pitcher. He has struck out 23.7% of hitters so far this year with a 3.25 xFIP. The Rockies have a 94 WRC plus and a 20.8% strikeout percentage on their active roster. And number one, Nestor Cortez, $10,300 price tag in a difficult matchup against the Minnesota Twins. The Twins have a 114 WRC plus so far this season. They also have a 22% strikeout percentage, but Cortez is only projected for 14% ownership with a 19% chance of being a top two scoring pitcher. He has the second highest strikeout percentage on the slate at 29.7%, and he has a very respectable 3.08 xFIP so far this season. So to recap, the top three tournament stacks on DraftKings: number three, the Oakland Athletics; number two, the San Francisco Giants; and number one, the New York Yankees. The top three tournament pitchers: number three, Chris Bassett; number two, Alex Wood; and number one, Nestor Cortez.